Okay, first years. So today what we're going to have a look at is drawing cylinders at any other angle than vertical. Okay, so the last day we had a look at drawing cylinders in the vertical orientation here. I give you the practice, I give you the example of doing the cylinder there for the water bottle from practice exercise 3, and then I asked you to do the rest of them there at the bottom of page 294. Okay, now I know for some reason the assignment there, guys, I put up the wrong page there, was 298, but if you had watched the video you should have known that it was the bottom of page 294. But if you have done them from page 298, don't worry about it, that's fine, we will be doing them anyway, guys, but it was these ones I wanted you to do. Okay, so what we're going to have a look at now is the cylinders at any other angle than vertical. Okay, so guys, we're going to be drawing these kind of objects here that are looking in more of an isometric view here. Okay, so kind of cylinders in an isometric views. So the likes of the round bale here and that. Okay, so it gives you examples here of how to do it using a center axis and the major and minor axis, similar to what we looked at the last day. Now what I find is you can do it this way and have a go at this way if you want. So you set up your central axis, then you set up your major and your minor axis, and you set out your points. What I find is that sometimes this can be more difficult for students, and they get obsessed with the ends points of the axis here, and they end up not drawing as well as they would have if they just had the freedom to go and draw it, if you just give you the freedom to go and draw it without any of these guides. What I'm going to do, guys, is a couple of weeks ago we did the bubble chair. We practiced drawing ellipses, and before that we were practicing drawing circles freehand. Okay, so if we think back to when we were drawing our circles freehand, if you want to just get a sheet of paper and along the top here you can do this now, guys. So when we were drawing our circles in freehand, we were just practicing, remember, drawing with confidence, drawing out a circle, drawing it in freehand. Okay, so if we have our circle there drawn in freehand and we want to get to something like the end of the bale here. Okay, so if we want to get to something like the end of the bale here, that's not going to be a circle. It's a circle viewed at any other angle other than perpendicular will be an ellipse. So that's going to be an ellipse, or an oval shape, an ellipse shape there, guys. All right, so what's that going to look like? So if we take, for example, we have our circle there. So our circle, if we look at that at any other angle than 90 degrees, and we looked at this before, if we go back here, I have the example here, guys, from a few weeks ago. I'll just get the example that we done from a couple of weeks ago. Yeah. So remember we were talking about the circles, and then we went to an ellipse and another type of an ellipse then as well, a tighter ellipse. So we started looking in at 90 degrees here. We talked about the tape. So remember the tape, when you're looking at here like this, you're looking in at 90 degrees, and if you turn the tape slightly like this, you're looking at an angle, and that's going to end up as an ellipse. And if you turn it even a little bit more, you have another ellipse, just a little bit tighter of an angle. Okay, and we end up drawing the bubble chair then, okay, with our ellipse. Now we're going to use this principle again here to have a look at these here. So we have our circle drawn out here. Okay, so if we were to, that would be our tape in that view there, guys. All right, so if we were to look at that then at an angle a little bit off 90 degrees, then okay, we would end up with an ellipse shape there like this, guys. Okay, something like that there. Okay, so we'll be looking at our tape at a little bit of an angle. Okay, now we can see here, if we draw in our axis of our circle here, our diameter there and there are going to be the same. Okay, now if we look at the axis of our ellipse, our axis here, our major axis and our minor axis, that's going to be our minor one, it's going to be shorter, and our major one is going to be longer, because our axis has shortened to our view like that there, guys. Okay, so we're going to use this now to draw in our bale here. So if we think about an ellipse like that, what we're going to be thinking about is if it was just turned slightly to our view like that. So we have our circle, then we turn slightly like this, and if our axis now was just, so you can imagine our axis is coming, our major axis is coming here like this. If we just tilted that axis slightly like that and drew it like that. So think about that there for a second, guys. Okay, we have our circle, then we come to this view here, where our axis is in the centre and we're tilting slightly, okay? Now if we wanted to draw in an isometric view, we would want our axis to be going at an angle other than 90 degrees. So we want to tilt our axis here a little bit. We're going to be tilting it roughly at a 60-degree angle here now for a major axis like this. So it's going to be like that there. And we're going to end up with an oval shape that's kind of tilted off to one side. So this axis is going to be slightly tilted off to one side like that. So if you want to think about that here in terms of what's going to look like, then you're going to have a curve more so like that there, guys. Okay, so your axis is going to be slightly tilted like that, and again this one is going to be at 90 degrees to it like that. Okay, so that's going to become the end of our bail. So if you want to practice that once or twice here across the top, okay, so again you're thinking about your ellipse, okay, but you're curving it slightly to one side like that, okay, so you're curving your ellipse slightly to one side like that, okay, and until you get to a stage where you're kind of happy with it like that, it kind of looks like what you're going to be doing for the end of the bail, okay, so that's going to be what you're going to set up your sketch with then, alright, so again you're tilting, you've started with your circle, you went your ellipse, and you're tilting now your axis again, you know, your axis is going to be tilted at an angle like that, okay, okay, so I hope that makes sense, guys, because we're going to come down here now and we're going to use what we've done there, okay, again you can ghost over what you've done, okay, I'm going to go with a H pencil here just to get going now, okay, so you're going to draw in your axis, or you're going to draw in your oval like that, okay, or your ellipse like that there, okay, whatever way you want to think of it, okay, so once you get it drawn in like that and you're happy with it, okay, what you're going to do is from the top and the bottom points here on it, okay, we're going to draw across at an angle like that, okay, so there's no set angle for this, okay, you know, you would be just trying to have it going back a little bit like that, okay, try and keep the two lines fairly parallel to each other, okay, so parallel to each, that line should be going back parallel, and we're going to come across here now, and at a certain point here we're just going to start here and we're going to draw in half that curve now again, okay, so we're just going to come across here and we're going to draw in that curve like that there again, okay, so you can see there what I've done, okay, so you've started there. Now if I had continued around there, I could continue around there and I'd end up with the same thing there again as that side, okay, but I don't need that part of it, so I'm just going to stop there where at that point there that I want, like that, okay, and now I have the outline of the bail, okay, nice and simply, guys, okay, so we're not going to, sometimes you can overcomplicate these sketches a little bit, okay, and make too much of it, okay, so that is going to be our bail there, okay, now look at, you can practice that a little bit, and once you have that much done then, guys, you know, you can go over nice and carefully then and straighten out any little bits that's maybe not just perfect for yourself. So see that little bit there, okay, and again you can come across then and making sure that there's no distinction between this line and where your curve is, okay, so your curve is coming through and it's coming down, and again there's no major distinction between the lines like that, alright, so that's going to give you the outline of the bail there, okay, so what you can do now, guys, is you can start practicing putting in the likes of the twine or the string on the bail or the net on the bail, whatever you want to think of it yourselves here, guys, that's going around like that, okay, again you're just tracing over this point here, you're just copying what you're doing, okay, where you're going and what you're doing, okay, like that, okay, so guys, I'm going to leave that for you yourselves to, I want you to do a little bit of work on your presentation techniques around that, so think about what we did with the bottle the last day, you know, how you could incorporate a little bit of rendering, a little bit of shading into that yourselves, okay, I want you to try and think about this yourselves now, okay, guys, you could be, you know, when you're rendering this, you know, the top part, you could divide your bail like we divided the water bottle the last day vertically into 3 different segments. You could divide this into 3 different segments this way here, so you could have your bail division divided up like this. I'll just finish that last one there, okay, so you could have your bail divided up like that there. This could be your darker area down here, okay? If you want to shade it in, or if you want to come along maybe with a colour that it might be a bale of hay or whatever, this could be the darker area as it goes in here, and as you come up then it gets lighter towards the top, okay? Again, you should be trying to get in the effect on the end of crop effect on the end of the bale. So look towards using some lines, using some shading that will give the effect of a crop on the end of the bale there, okay? So I hope that's okay, guys. I'm not going to spend much more time on that there, okay? I want you to look back, practice what I've done there, practice what I've looked at there, circle, then you're going to your ellipse and you're tilting it then, okay? And you're using that then here and here, okay? By doing this in the book here, you can do it this way, guys, but I just find that it always restricts you too much, and you end up trying to keep to the ends of these too much, and it doesn't give you the freedom to actually sketch how you would normally sketch, okay? So you can go ahead and render that in there, guys, okay? What you should do then is the other remaining two exercises, exercise 2 and 3. So you're thinking about the same thing. So for the likes of the perfume bottle here, okay? Again, you're thinking about the ellipse, but instead of being tilted back to the right as our bale is, okay, it's going to be tilted back to the left a little bit here. So our major axis now on this one is going to be along this way here, and our minor is this way. So you're thinking about drawing in, instead of being tilted to the right here, it's tilted to the left. So that's the only difference there that's going to be in that one. So when you come along, you can practice a couple of these and then tilt it to the left for that one there, okay? So what you'll be looking at for your, so even if you want to practice that as well, where you'll be tilting it to the left. So instead of going like this, so you're going to be ending up going in a direction. So you'll be starting here and you'll be going in a direction like that there, guys, alright? So again, if you look at your axis on that, you're going to have your axis, your major going that way and your minor going that way. So it's just thinking about what you're doing. So practice that a couple of times as well. If you want to do your practice goes on a separate sheet there, guys, you can do so, alright? So once you get that in and done, okay, so what you can do is you can do your practice goes, say for example for the bale, like that, across the top, and then do the bale on that sheet. For the perfume bottle, you can do your practice goes across the top, starting again with the circle, and then do the perfume bottle, and then do the same for the actual whistle there as well. So look, guys, just to make that a little bit clear, I'll just quickly go over the example for the perfume bottle, okay? So everyone should be okay with doing the bale there. So if we have a quick look at the perfume bottle, so you should start again with a circle. Remember, draw with confidence, alright? So you're going to have your axis on your circle then is going to be your both axes, you have your diameter basically across and vertically are going to be the same. Then think about creating your ellipse then in a vertical orientation, okay? So you're going to create your ellipse in a vertical orientation, okay? So again, your axis on that is going to be vertical and horizontal. And now, instead of tilting, the last time we did this, we tilted the axis to the right, going back. This time we just want to tilt it to the left, going back. So again, it's just thinking about where you're going, okay? So even practice it again, okay? So make sure you're getting a good curve on that. So you can see there, guys, axis is going back to the left like that, okay? So once you do that a couple of times, guys, across the top, then what you can do is you can come down here and you can start drawing in your perfume bottle, okay? So you're going to be kind of replicating that there, guys. So you're going to be coming down here, you're going to be drawing in your perfume bottle like that, okay? And what you can do is come across then at your angle like that for the next part of it, okay? Try and match them as parallel as you can, okay? And then you're going to be bringing across, and then you're going to curve, you're going to just match this curve as you're going down with your next part like this, okay? and you're going to try and have no distinction between that part and the other part of your curve there, alright? So you can see there, it's just gone a little bit flat there, guys, okay? So as I'm doing it with my 2B pencil then, I'm going to come down here and I'm going to just increase the curve of that a little bit and bring that around to meet it there like that, okay? And there should be no great distinction between the two, alright? So as you draw this in, nice and carefully, okay, and you can use a little bit of rendering, technique as you're going across that there, guys, just to make sure that there's no major distinction between that, okay? And you can start putting in the top of the bottle. If you want to create the top of the bottle, then is going to be coming straight up like that, okay? So you're going to have the top part of the bottle is going to be coming up and around here like that, okay? So you can start sketching that out, getting the bones of it drawn out, and start to actually sketch it in there, okay? So you can see there we're going to have a top part on it then as well, going up and across. So again, we're just doing the outline of it first, doing the bones of it first, getting it drawn in, and then you can go over the outline of that then, alright, as you go along. So once you get that drawn in like that, we lighten the part behind that's not going to be seen, and then you can just come over with your softer pencil. So a HB, if you have it, it'll be fine, okay? This is a 2B pencil, but you probably only have a HB at home for sketching, okay? So again, guys, you should look at rendering that in then, guys, and having a look at putting in the writing into it, light and dark rendering, using shade and shadow, and doing as good a job as you can on that. So just to recap what you should be doing. First one, okay, practice across the top to get your angle right for your bail. Come down and do the bail, render it, make it nice using all your techniques that I've shown you before, light and dark rendering and shading. Do the same when it comes to the perfume bottle. Start with your circle, practice this time going to the left, creating your ellipse. Again, I need you to render this in then, okay? Use your imagination now, guys, make it your own, make it nice, okay? For the whistle then, you're going to be doing the same thing, guys. So if you want to actually do the whistle, and the perfume bottle will be or the whistle and the actual bail there, guys, will be on the same orientation going back, okay? So you're going to have a similar ellipse here. The ellipse on this is going to be very, very close to a circle here, guys, okay? Because the angle that it's going back at there, it's going back quite steeply. So this is more like an oblique projection than an isometric there. But try and match that then, and you can draw that on either one of the pages then, guys. You don't have to need a third page, so you can draw that on either the page with the perfume bottle or the page with the bail, okay? So bottom of page 295, I hope that's clear for everyone, and let me know if you have any issues with it, okay, guys? Just to mention there, guys, as well, I just forgot there, just to mention there that next week, so you need to have this done for Monday now, guys, and from Monday Mr. McKeown is going to be taking you then, okay? So from Monday on, Mr. McKeown is going to be taking you, and he'll be continuing on with a little bit of freehand sketching for now, but what you need to do though, guys, is you really need to get set up with your T-square now, okay, at home, okay? I put up links there the last day for getting T-squares and getting drawn boards, okay? So I really need you to get set up with them as soon as possible, okay? Because we're going to be working at home for another while, you're going to be working at home for another while, you really need to get set up with your T-squares and your boards at home, okay? So that's all, guys, okay? We'll see you later, okay?